Let's do this.
Come on.
What's up guys, Jared here with just the wettest movie review I've done to date. So it's almost the middle of February and Valentine's Day is right around the corner and nothing quite says I love you like some butt stuff. 50 Shades of Grey. For the past few years, this sexually charged franchise has been a Valentine's Day tradition, and we're lucky enough to have 50 Shades Freed in the theaters right now. So does 50 Shades Freed go in hard, or is this a flaccid franchise? Let's find out. So 50 Shades Freed pretty much picks up after the events of 50 Shades Darker. Anastasia and Christian are now married and living a life of luxury, traveling the world on their honeymoon to places like Paris, Brazil, and some other exotic places. It's the perfect life, except there was a break-in and arson attempt at Grey Enterprises. As Mr. Grey hires investigators for this arson attempt, Anastasia starts her new job as fiction editor. As the story unravels, you eventually find out who's behind the attempted sabotage. There's a bunch more luxury porn, fancy cars, fancy dresses. Ooh, you so fancy. Oh, and some really PG sexual stuff. Nothing compared to what you would assume or anything that comes from the novel series. So I did it. I went and saw 50 Shades Freed by myself. I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to go back to that theater anymore, but hey, what are you gonna do? This movie is exactly what you would expect. A plot that doesn't matter, characters you don't care about, they aren't likable, a bunch of glamour shots of exotic locations, and some weird sex stuff that's pretty much non-existent here. I've always been taught, look for the best in things. So here we go. 50 Shades Freed had a decent soundtrack. Songs from Sia, Haley Steinfeld, Ellie Goulding, Rita Ora, it all gave us something fun to listen to, while everything on the screen didn't really matter, or it was the eighth use of a montage. Just close your eyes and this movie isn't too bad to listen to, except if it's only the music. The writing and acting was a completely different story. That brings me to the writing here. E.L. James, you may be this saucy wordsmith with your exotic novels, but the translation to the big screen did not work. I don't know if she had much input with the writing of the script in this one, but it honestly felt like the script was written by a 12-year-old boy in middle school, writing things like, "Good morning, wife. Good morning, husband." Or, "I don't want your boobies out." But Christian, the whole beach is full of boobies. And my favorite, "I want to know everything about this guy. Where is he from? What is his shoe size?" Shoe size? Why? There was no footprints or anything in this whole movie. It was just lazy writing throughout this whole film. Which now brings me to the performances. The two leads in this film, Dakota Johnson and Jamie Dornan. You could easily tell that neither of them wanted to be in this film. I guarantee that they were both contracted to do this film, but just fake it. Act like you're having a good time. It was just difficult to watch them together because their chemistry does not work. There were some scenes where you could see Dakota Johnson, at least trying to play into the role and giving it some sort of effort, but Jamie Dornan was terrible. He was deadpan and cringeworthy throughout this whole film with zero emotion behind his delivery and actions. He was limp in this cinematic climax. The performances all around felt like they were from an upper scale Hallmark movie mixed with a softcore porno. This brings me to the story. There isn't one. 50 Shades Freed is just a series of montages and vignettes that are somehow pieced together to make a movie. It goes from plot point to plot point with no sense of direction and just assumes that you're okay with it. It sort of felt like a high budget porn film, but with all of the sex taken out of it, and it was all of those filler scenes. That was the movie. I could go on for an hour about this movie. The fact that Christian Grey basically assaults his wife because she talks to another guy, him basically having the mental capacity of a 12-year-old boy, being so needy and controlling. I don't understand. If you have a bunch of money and you're attractive, can you be a shitty weirdo like this? Overall, 50 Shades Freed is a poor excuse for a movie and is easily in the contention for worst movie of 2018. With a decent selection of songs and music, but with terrible writing, awful performances, and plot points that seemingly lead nowhere for no purpose, I would 169% skip out on 50 Shades Freed. The movie's tagline is "Get ready for climax," but I didn't even get half a chub in the theater. Anyways, what did you think of 50 Shades Freed? Was it the glamorous rich fantasy and dirty raunchy S&M that really gets you going? Or should you have stayed at home and just posted up against the washing machine spin cycle? Ooh, these clothes are dirty. I want to hear about it in the comments below. I really want to hear about it. As always, you can find me on the social medias at Jared Buckendahl on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Until next time, I'll see you later, Jizz Squad.